Welcome to Tool Talk, Episode 6. This is the official podcast for Jonard Tools. Today we have myself, Ed Cerbona, the Senior Director of Engineering, and Wayne Bunch, the National Sales Director of North America for Jonard Tools. And today we have a very special guest, Mr. Richard Gerszberg, the CEO and owner of Jonard Tools. Welcome, Rich.
Welcome, guys. So glad to be here with you today.
Great. We're glad to have you, really. You know, not that my office isn't right next door to you and I see you on a rather frequent basis, but we're glad you're in our little booth here talking with us today. So we thought about this and we came up with some questions we thought we'd ask. Some of them we know the answer to, but I think it'd really be good for the people who listen to this podcast, find out a little bit more about Jonard. So first question I had here was the origins of Jonard, when it was founded, how it was founded, and in the early years, what did Jonard do? Would you mind talking about that?
My pleasure. So Jonard started in 1958. It was started by two people, a Bernard Austin and a Joe Sutton, and thus the name Jonard from Joe and Bernard. So put it together, you get Jonard. And they worked together for about a year. Joe was from France, and there was a product from France. It was a burnishing tool, our D200 series of diamond burnishing tools that they were looking to work with to import into the U.S. And so the two of them worked for a year. Joe didn't see the future, but Bernard was able to see the future of the company. So when Joe left, Bernard got his wife, Renee, involved along with him. Bernard was in engineering by training, and Renee was like the business mind, had a really good business mind, good sense of business, and also a very good sales. They actually both were very good at sales. And thus they started working together because they had this vision to grow this business. So early on, what they specialized in was doing custom type products, small volume products. Along the way, they got involved with a company called ITT, who was then the largest telecommunications company. And back then they were doing this telephone system called the Pentaconta telephone system, step-by-step telephone system. And they somehow or another was able to get some custom work from them, machining and doing small run production on products. And so they got involved with it. And this company, ITT, was selling worldwide. So at one point, they went to ITT, and over the years, ITT built up a tremendous trust with Jonard. And they asked them to see if they can get involved in the standardization of all their tools.
Oh, interesting.
And so they started to standardize all of their tools throughout the world. They got this business, and it went quite well for them. And they had all of these specialty pliers, like some crazy pliers. I remember when I joined the business many years later, I saw some of these pliers because we actually still had some of that business when I came along. And then also another part of the business that they got involved in was with Graybar Electric, which is still one of our distributors.
Right.
And they were one of our earliest distributors. And through them, we got connected to Western Electric, the precursor to AT&T. And we worked Jonard worked very closely on the design of many products for the telecommunication industries. Also, Jonard got involved with the government, the GSA, General Services Administration, and they did a lot of work on custom type products for them as well.
Right. I recall my early years coming here, seeing a lot of that product and saying, what are these used for? And they're all specialty, small production run, but, needed in those industries. So you have mentioned that Jonard was founded in 1958. I'd like to point out that we are coming up on our 63rd anniversary, and that is on September 22nd.
Love it.
Okay, so from I guess a way to ask this is, how do you see how Jonard's vision has changed over the years from the early days to where we are today? And maybe another question, I'll ask where we're going, so we'll save that. But how do you see how that vision has changed at the company?
So I joined the business in 1989. And so when I came into the business, Jonard was very strong and had these incredible products, very unique products. And most of the work we were doing back then was custom products for each company. So it would be customized products. When I came in, I saw this opportunity that, okay, we're making this product for this company. Maybe this product has other applications. And so, during my years here, that's when I started to see that change, where we started to say that there's products for, a greater audience, and try to, instead of just making custom, try to make more standard products to meet a lot of different needs. So that's been a big change for Jonard that, that got started back when I came on board.
Right. Okay. Good. So Rich, why don't you tell me? So you told me about when you joined Jonard. What is your background? Where did you come from?
So I am a proud Jersey boy. I was born in central Jersey near the Jersey Shore in a town called Lakewood, New Jersey. I grew up and started working at the very young age of 9 years old. My father had a liquor store, and every Sunday I used to work in this liquor store.
Okay.
From age 9 to 17. One of my favorite things, in the beginning I was very embarrassed. I used to have to proof people, even though I was underage serving people liquor, I used to have to proof people and say, are you of age to buy this liquor or whatever, or beer? And people would show me fake IDs and I would say, nope, can't sell it. So I was used to working at a very young age. And my father, who was an immigrant, didn't have an education, so he really pushed education on all 4 of his kids. I was the youngest of 4 children in our family. So I went to college. I went to Columbia University and got a degree in industrial engineering because I knew that would be a job where you can get a good job out of college and make some money. So that was my background. After Columbia, I got a job at Arthur Andersen, which then became Accenture, a consulting company.
Right.
And I was there 2 years. And at that point in time, I met Karen, my wife, who's the daughter of Bernard and Renee, and was debating to go to business school. And they said, why don't you come into this family business? And it's an engineering business, a tool business, a product-based business. And I love product-based business, selling liquor in my early years. And here's another opportunity to do a product-based business that's technical and engineering.
A little different product.
A little different product, maybe not as fun as selling liquor at times, but it's good, honest business. So I jumped on the opportunity. And I've been here since 1989. And what I love about the business is, first of all, what we do is we solve problems. People come to us and we solve problems. And you work very closely with the customers. And
that's what I love about it.
Yeah. So that's sort of my pathway to Jonard.
Great.
Hey, so I want to interject something real quick.
Please,
so
Wayne. You've been quiet.
Yeah. Well. I'm not in the room with you guys. I think that's why. So one of the things I want to point out, and a lot of people know or may not know, that Rich is the driving passion behind Jonard Tools. I've known him. I think I met him in 2001. He had more hair and I was skinnier.
Wait, Wayne, do you tie my hair to meeting you maybe?
Yeah, probably, because it was close there after I came to work for Jonard. But just the fact that you still have passion from like when you started in the 80s and we're in 2021 now. I mean, people don't realize that he is the driving force behind Jonard. He makes the wheel turn. So that's kind of like why we want to have him on this podcast, so people actually find out that he is the driving force behind Jonard. We don't let him go out in public as much as he used to, or he doesn't have to, I should say, because when we first started, it was basically two of us going to trade shows, and now we have reps and a larger staff. We're a larger company, so I just want to point that out.
Thank you,
No.
Wayne. I appreciate that.
Very good, Wayne.
So
Okay.
you two can go with your conversation now.
Okay, yeah. So, where do you see the company going? How do you see its future? Do you see it shifting anywhere along the way? Do you see something on the horizon that might do that?
I think the future is very exciting. As Wayne said, yes, I have a lot of passion for this. I love what I do. I love waking up, coming into work and doing what we do, because I find we're doing great stuff and we're solving a lot of problems. As I mentioned earlier, when we started, we were just doing very custom type stuff. Now we're selling screwdrivers, nut drivers. We're in so many different industries. Our products are used in every single country in the world. Like, my family wants to kill me. Like, even just yesterday, whenever I'm walking in the street and I see, for instance, a Verizon truck or a Comcast truck, I always go in there and knock on, go into the truck, ask the person, can I come in and see what tools you have? And many times they have our tools. When I go to France or Europe, I go to Europe a lot because we have a facility there. And when I see telecom trucks there, I do the same. And it's incredible when you see our products, mostly a lot of fiber type stuff in France. Our products there, it's just exciting. And so where we're going as a company is, the brand just continues to build. We're really investing. The company's investing a lot. We keep adding new people on a weekly basis, and we're seeing our products all over the place in all different industries. We are moving towards becoming that full line of hand tool supplier. Like, we're gonna be like every household at some point, I hope, either has one of our tools or at least knows about us. That's where we're moving.
That's a great place to be and a great place to head to. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
I do remember, Ed, we used to go to trade shows and people didn't know who we were in the early 2000s, and we don't have that problem anymore.
No, we don't. As a matter of fact, I had not been to CEDIA, in CEDIA being Consumer Electronic Designers and Installers Association, I believe is what it stands for. So I was at their trade show last week. The last time I was there was 8 or 9 years ago, and really, I don't believe many people knew who we are. The people we saw at the show last week, everybody knew who we were. And even some of the companies there, most companies in that market did not know who we are. They do now.
That's because of the team we have here. I mean, we have an amazing team here at Jonard. Our sales and marketing team has really picked it up over the years, and it has really helped with our branding. Like, people, I agree. Early on, many people did not know us, and now wherever we go, people do know us at all these shows. And it's not just domestic, it's just throughout the world. Wherever we go, people recognize and know our brand now.
I think it's just a great time to be at Jonard right now. I really do. So, let me ask you this. Dealing with Jonard, what's your expectations for if you're a customer and you were dealing with Jonard?
So at the very young age of 9 years old, working in my father's liquor store, the thing I learned very early on is it's all about the customer. The customer comes in, buys a product from you, and you want that customer to come back because that's how you make a living. And so you make sure that customer has a good experience. And I learned that from my liquor store. And that is the most important thing that I try to carry on here at Jonard, and I make sure all of our employees know that the customer is the most important thing we have here. And to me, which is incredible, is once we get you as a customer, you're not going to leave us. Like this, that the customers do not leave us, because whenever a customer, I mean, things happen, as you guys know. Once in a while, an issue might happen.
Sure.
And we will always make good, and the customer always is happy in the end.
I do. I do think they come away feeling maybe something happened. They come away knowing, one, we did everything we could to solve their problem. Usually we solve it. And they know we put an honest effort into it, whatever it was. And if it meant we had to give, let's just say, some free product away or something, whatever it took to make sure that they were okay, they came away knowing that. And I think it leaves them with a very good feeling. I really do.
The idea of the customer is first is something that all the employees here understand, and we carried through. And I think people on the other end do feel that, and the results are that we don't lose any customers.
Yep, totally agree.
That's why our logo says "Made for Life," guys.
That's right, because
Exactly.
we stand behind it. So, okay, why don't we look to wrap this up now? So, we hope this podcast has been informative, and a special thank you to Mr. Rich Gerszberg, again, CEO and owner of Jonard Tools, for joining us today. Thank you.
And thank you guys for having me. So good to see you guys again in person.
I'll see you shortly.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys.